Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review of the CW's The Vampire Diaries. This week we've seen Season 7, Episode 9, which is entitled Cold as Ice, which is, of course, the mid-season finale. So, they delivered a pretty good cliffhanger, I'd say, for the next half of the season, making us wait over a month. This was probably one of the best episodes of the season so far, I'd say. There have been a few that, most of them have been pretty decent, but there hasn't really been one that's really, wowed me yet. This one almost got there. This is one I did enjoy. Of course, both this episode of The Vampire Diaries and the originals were taking place during Christmas, which is nice. So I really liked seeing the winter-esque, setting and stuff like that with the snow and the Christmas theme in the background and stuff like that. My cat's already out the door. It's really annoying. If you guys didn't know that already. But, she's got to do what she's got to do. As you can see, I took notes again. It's really been helping me out. I'm even considering taking notes on every show I watch and review now, but we'll see about that. Okay, at the beginning of the episode we see Chicago flash forward, with Stefan and, he's leaving to rescue Damon and Caroline, who we've seen have both been taken by a mysterious character we haven't really met yet. In the previous flash forwards we've seen during the earlier episodes. And we see him and Valerie. Valerie's worried about him going there, to get them and stuff like that. And Valerie and Stefan kiss, which is a pretty big jump from where they're at now. I think they're definitely becoming closer as allies again, and you can tell there's still sort of something between them. But, I guess with Caroline definitely being pretty much married to Alaric in the future, it makes sense that during that same time Stefan would probably veer off on his own again too, and maybe find Valerie. Who knows? What I can say is Valerie is far less annoying. But we all know this is probably going to end up right. So there's that's interesting. Again, I'm just intrigued and eager for them to actually get to that point 3 years from now, to see what it all means, what it all is, and to see this whole world in sort of like chaos and, darker and grimmer and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to it. In present day, it does open with the funeral for Lily, who of course stabbed herself thinking she was going to take Julian with her last week, but of course Julian had unlinked them. He undid the spell, and so Lily essentially just killed herself. So the sort of the funeral, or I should say burial, for her here. Stefan, Nora, Valerie, and even Damon's there. Stefan, Nora, and Valerie all kind of muster up, some good parting words to say to her as a goodbye. But Damon, of course, he keeps on saying that, she doesn't deserve any sort of kindness from him, any sort of goodbye, anything but pretty much a spit in her face when she was hoping for some kind words before she actually did die last week. And they get more into that a little bit later in the episode, but I gotta say you can't really blame Damon. As Stefan once said to Catherine, really, one day or one night isn't going to make up for, decades or, just however long of not being a parent or just not being what they're trying to be now. It's not going to make up for everything that was or wasn't there and that happened in the past, So I get Damon's side of it too. But it does make me more curious about the flash forward we've seen last week to where Damon was saying he was sorry as he thought he was seeing Lily. So again, I'm wondering what happens between now and that 3 year later point. Once again, my cat's at the door. And she's just going to keep freaking out, so... Hopefully she doesn't come back to the door soon, but you guys know how this goes, and I apologize in advance if and when she does. So I did really like that burial scene, though. Some pretty solid acting throughout the whole scene, and of course, as I mentioned before, I like the whole snow falling. It was actually pretty well shot, I thought. The visuals, the environment looked really nice and stuff like that. So I like how they did that. Cat's at the door again. Of course, Caroline's decorating, that part of herself still wants to do, all the usual, stuff she is into as a human. Of course, helping out, and trying to organize everything and things like that. Cat's at the door. Again. Okay, next time I'm not letting her out. I'm just putting her on the bookshelf. I love her though. Okay, and you guys just got to see me kiss my cat, so I hope you enjoyed that little show. Okay, like I said, Caroline, taking care of the decorations and stuff like that. And because of the children inside her, she's having an extra, feeding her like a craving sensation, also what her mother would normally feel from being pregnant, except it's turned into craving her blood in the case of a vampire. And, of course, none of us are really feeling this whole Caroline having Lark's babies in her story. It's just so weird and awkward. It's not really clicking anywhere. But it is what it is. I'm just trying to roll with it now. She's out the door again. Let's see, what else? Damon drinking eggnog, which is pretty fun, of course. Him just following Stefan around, them bantering back and forth. It's always a good time. Bonnie, she's helping us toys for Tots, which is really cute. And Nora shows up, actually out of the kindness of her heart. And I always kind of preferred her since I first met her and Mary Louise this season. Just her attitude, but it seems like she has a bigger heart than Mary does at this point. It really just hasn't came out until now. And so, of course, Bonnie's reasonably doubting, understandably so, Nora's intentions. But Nora sort of proves herself that she is genuinely wanting to turn over a new leaf, as you would say. And, of course, Damon and Stefan are looking for Julian, which is why they're wandering about in a certain area of the town. And, Bonnie did a locator spell, told them, the general area Julian was in, and they end up finding a bunch of dead guys dressed as Santa in a bar. Unfortunately, all those dead Santas the kids are going to be disappointed Christmas morning. And, yeah, it is Christmas Eve, I should say, right now. Apparently. Yeah. Okay. In the show, I mean, obviously. And of course, it turns out to be a trap set by Julian, who Damon and Stefan thought was actually just wandering around drunk and sort of sloppy and stuff like that. I do believe Julian does have some grief over the loss of Lily, but of course he's definitely the antagonist in this case. And it turns out to be a trap by Julian. He has Damon and Stefan surrounded. Damon points out how the costumes that all those dead Santas are wearing are flammable, so Damon lights them up, and that helps him and Stefan escape, which is pretty cool. And Caroline's having mood swings, mood swings any mother would have that's pregnant, and again, that's amplified by not only the vampire side, but also Caroline's general mood swing and weird attitudes and annoying self as it is. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Caroline if I haven't made that clear in my past videos. So she almost attacks Alaric, goes all vampire face. Nora, is visited by Mary as she's trying to help out Bonnie with the Toys for Tots thing. Mary's trying to, reel her back in. She still doesn't understand why Nora, is helping the Salvatores and their side of things and stuff like that, even though Nora's and Valerie and the rest of them made it abundantly clear that Julian is bad news. And this one really flips, but I don't think so. Nora luckily rejects Mary, and Mary goes off all bitter. Damon, let's see, wait, I can't quite read that, it's kind of sloppy with some of my writing tonight. Damon and Stefan have an argument over Lily. Of course, Stefan going after Damon for not even mustering up a bit of kindness as Lily was dying, or if she's dead. And Damon, of course, as we talked about earlier, doesn't think she deserves it, which I kind of agree with. He can kind of get. Maybe if she was actually alive for a few years, a few decades more, maybe something could have been done. And Damon's sort of saying how Stefan sort of gives Lily a hall pass for all the things she's done because he's pretty much a mommy's boy, is what he is essentially saying. And he can't completely disagree with that either. But Stefan's always been a bit more forgiving than Damon has. Damon's always taken longer to, sort of like win back. And when it's the case of someone as close to him as his mother could be, then, that's going to take even longer. So there's that. Let's see. Nora and Bonnie bond, which I actually like their scenes here. I thought it was pretty cute. And in a way, it almost felt like there's almost like a romance tone to it, really. Which I wouldn't mind. I'd be all for it, rather than the random sort of hookup with Enzo, even though they've shown no attraction to each other before. But it really didn't go that way, especially once Nora found out that the Salvatores had actually kidnapped Mary, or Stefan, I should say. And so obviously Nora still cares about her, and she obviously thought what they were doing is a little bit over the top. And so she thinks Bonnie is in on the whole thing, so she leaves. Julian confronts Damon at the Salvatore house. Of course, again, he's bashing Damon for, the way he would treat his mother, the way he wouldn't just want to let go of things with his mother and stuff like that. I'm forgetting some lines of the scene, but it's actually pretty good. Caroline actually visits her mom, Liz's grave, which is a pretty good scene. It kind of came out of nowhere given how much she was acting up, and all of a sudden she's down to earth again. But I guess it would make sense that she could try to find some sort of comfort and balance by visiting her mom, who she doesn't have anymore. As she pointed out, it was the first Christmas without her. So, yeah, I can actually understand Caroline here. It was a pretty touching scene, I'll give it that. And, let's see, what else? Of course, Julian ends up being fought by Damon and Stefan, as we'd expect. And Julian actually ends up using the sword on Damon, stabbing with it, with a special stone in it. So it's going to trap Damon's soul in that stone and put him through his own personal hell, pretty much. And we see that he's put back into the war he fought, for the South and stuff like that, so long ago. And then Stefan ends up being stabbed as well. So we don't know what kind of hell he's in yet, but I'm sure we'll find out when the show comes back. And yeah, that's Stefan was actually stabbed by Nora as well. Because she's probably flipping sides now because, she probably thought, again, taking Mary Louise is too far. And, as she said, they weren't not nice people after all. So, yeah, that's really where the episode ends. Decent little cliffhanger with that, of course, both Salvatores being in peril. Curious to see more of their own personal hells. And, yeah, overall, a pretty good mid-season finale, but I'll save my energy for the actual review, but the original is just absolutely blew me away like a little fangirl tonight. But we'll talk about that in that review. Overall, I did enjoy this episode, though, don't get me wrong. And it's going to be a long wait for January 29th, but at least it's coming back. And both shows are going to be on Fridays now, which some people are concerned about since that's where some shows are sent to die, but I'm hoping not. Because The Vampire Diaries has made it so far, you'd think that they just let them run its full course and at least one more season or something, or even if it got canceled, let them just finish it with 6 episodes or something, sort of like Nikita. But if they cut off the original, so I think The Vampire Diaries is going to get an ending one way or another. But if they cut off the originals, I'll just never forgive that, no matter what. But yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this video, add me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, MoviePilot, and look for me on Swilled.com. I'll catch you guys next time for my originals review, and peace.